My hair look okay? Hey everybody, this is Rocky and Rich. I wanted to do a video about shingles. I meant to do this a few weeks ago when I first got here to LA, while I still had a lot of scabbing left, and that's Woogie down there. I'm sorry, he's upset that I didn't introduce him. Now Rich is grabbing him. But I've been getting a lot of questions about it, and the reason I wanted to do it, well, there's a couple of reasons. One, because when I was looking up information about it, there wasn't really a lot of information out there, and I guess I kind of know why now, because it just really varies from person to person on what they experience. And the other thing is, I just want people to be aware of the symptoms, because it's really important to catch very early. It's really important to catch it very early, and in the stages of we're just like distracted by Woogie. It's really important to catch it early. So what had happened was it August 12th, like a Friday night. I'm going to start from the very beginning. This might be a long video, so if anybody is not interested, or in any of this, just close out. It's not going to be about cooking or anything like that. So in the very beginning, it was like a Friday night. I was like laying in bed with my laptop, and I started feeling a really deep pain on my right shoulder blade. So I thought it was a pulled muscle. That's the first thing I thought. It was like maybe I pulled a muscle when I was doing Zumba. I told Rich that.
We put ice on it.
Well, we put ice on it, I think, the next day. The next day, just the pain just kept on getting worse. So like Rich was trying to massage it a little bit. Yeah, and then we put like an ice pack on there. And then I started feeling like numbness. Like I remember it starting to itch a bit. Is this too high? Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm not messing around with this. I started feeling like a little bit of itchiness, so I would go to scratch, and I wouldn't feel like any relief. Like I could feel my, my hand touching my skin, but I couldn't feel any relief. So I was thinking maybe I feel like some numbness. So I told Rich, and he thought it was like a pinched nerve. Mm-hmm. So we thought it was a pinched nerve for a few days. So that was over the weekend. Then one morning, I woke up. I think it was like either Sunday or Monday morning. I just felt like on my chest, like right here, my right side. It's hard to explain. Like just like thousands and thousands of pins. Like almost like when your leg is like waking up, like when it's falling asleep and it wakes up, you just feel all these needles. Like I just felt all these needles, and almost like a burning sensation in a way. I don't know. So I was trying to like figure out what was going on. Like, well, maybe I put the ice pack. Maybe I gave myself frostbite. But then no, I just put the ice pack on my back. Maybe I put it on my front. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of all these different things. So that was like either Sunday or Monday. Tuesday, the pain just kept on getting worse. I'm like, what the heck? So Tuesday, I would get my hair cut. It was like the last haircut I was going to get before we left San Antonio. And as we're leaving, Rich is walking behind me. He's like, your shoulder, your back is looking kind of scuffed up. Well, I think we both just kind of thought that, sometimes I can get aggressive. Like I think we just thought that it had been Is that what you thought too?
Initially, I thought it was. It didn't look quite like it, but it looked like she'd been scratching a little too hard. Like there's some like pinprick little like ruptures of the skin type thing. Just like really aggressive rubbing. But the really odd thing was that she had these like welts starting up. This like cluster of welts.
Well, that was like later on. Oh. That Tuesday when he mentioned it, and I hadn't seen it. I think I had seen it like that day, but I didn't really think of anything of it. But when he mentioned it, I think we just thought that I'd just been rubbing too hard or something like that. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, it's just the pain just so bad. Tuesday I took a hydrocodone. That was from Rich's surgery. He's like, why don't you just take a hydrocodone? What I didn't really want to do because I hate taking any kind of medication. But I did, and it helped a little bit, but not really. So Wednesday, I'm just getting a lot of pain. I'm feeling like numbness. And Rich suggested going down to the hot tub. We go down to the hot tub, and then like we start. I don't even know why I didn't realize earlier that day, but I had like the little red marks in front now too, and it was like a little circle, and almost like little red dots.
It was more like just like raised skin thicknesses, kind of like somebody like splashed. Like a splash of water that caused welts to raise up. And on the back, there was a bigger area of like these raised welts. Yeah,
it was just like almost like not slowly, I guess. It was like spreading pretty like between Tuesday and Thursday. It really had like it was really like spreading. So we were trying to like think of all my symptoms, and I'm like, I just feel like all these needles and like numbness and the pain. It's just a constant dull pain, but then it gets to the point where it almost felt like something was gripping, like and underneath my back here and the front. Like I almost felt like I was having like chest pains in a way. So we're in the hot tub, and then Rich mentioned something about maybe, what did you say? It could be. It sounds like it could be shingles.
Yeah, it could be shingles, because one of the critical things about shingles, and that's spotting the other symptoms earlier, is that shingles will express themselves, come out along a dermatome, and a dermatome is a fancy word for the body's nervous system from your spinal cord. Those nerves come out to different maps on the skin. And so you can look up dermatomes on the internet and you'll see the body just sliced up in sections. And so when shingles come out, they follow a certain nerve that innervates along a dermatome. So they'll be a band, generally from front to back, half the body, and it follows that pattern. So it's not going to like run up and down the body, and it's not going to be on just the front or the back. It's going to wrap around from a side.
And I really had no idea what shingles was. Like I never knew anybody that had it. I really didn't know what it was, actually. So, but the thing is, I didn't tell him this before he said that. It's like I had been searching up my symptoms online earlier that day, like just Googling it, and shingles did pop up, but I didn't even click on it because I was thinking, it's
got to be over 50, 60.
No, I didn't even think that. I didn't even know like who got it or what got it or whatever. I just like, nah, it sounds like something that it sounds like something somebody else would get, not me. You know what I mean? Like it's just so stupid that I thought, I don't know, whatever. So we get back upstairs in the hot tub, and I start searching up the shingles and the symptoms. Well, quite a few of the symptoms I didn't have, but the ones that that I did have were mentioned under shingles. So I started freaking out because then it starts saying like, it's just really excruciating pain, and the pain can last. The pain can last longer than the rash can last. Then they started talking about like how the rash will like blister and then pop, and you get bruising, and you gotta like clean and bandage. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Like what the? We have to like leave. Just we're driving from San Antonio to LA with a cat in a car in this blazing heat. It's like 100 degrees in San Antonio. We're gonna be driving through Mexico, and I'm gonna be dealing with like blisters and popping and oozing. Like what the heck? So the next morning, I try to call my doctor. Well, I call my doctor, and I'm just like, hey, can I get in? I think I have shingles. I need to, see somebody immediately. And they were just like, no, we don't have any openings. But if you have shingles, you need to go see somebody, really quickly because it's really painful. All right, well, thanks. I call 4 other doctors and pretty much the same thing. Like, look, I try to get into my regular doctor. I think I have shingles, or any way I can get an appointment. No. So Rich was like, let's just go to the emergency room. And he was home because he's recovering from a surgery. So I actually had to deal with like a work meeting. I did the work meeting, and then after that we walked to the emergency room, which was like 5 blocks or whatever. And I'm thinking like, how long is this going to take? Like, because usually if you're in an emergency room, especially, well, in Chicago, like you have to have like a gunshot wound for you to be seen like right away. Otherwise you're there for like you might as well just like pack a lunch, dinner, and a pillow. So Rich was like, just don't even tell them what you think it is, just give them your symptoms. And then I was just like, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, I have this rash that's like spreading, and I don't know if it's contagious. So hopefully, they hear contagious, and they're like, oh. So we get there, and that's exactly what I said. Like, I have this rash, it's really painful, and I was wearing a tank top, you could see it. It's really painful, and I don't know if it's contagious or what. So they take my information, I sit down, I fill out, the information, sit down. Like 10 minutes later, I get called in. The nurse takes all my vitals and asks me why I'm there, and said, well, I have this rash. It's really painful. It's contagious. I don't know if it's contagious or what. So she's like, yeah, I can see, the rash. And, she asked me some more questions, like my pain level. I'm like, well, I think like it's always like a dull pain, like it's almost like a 3 or 4, but it can get up to like almost a 7. Like it'll like stay like a 7 for like a good, I don't know, like minute or so, and then it'll go back down. So she's like, okay, excuse me for a second. She walks out, and I start freaking out. Like, does she know what it is? Like, and I don't know why. I just started thinking MRSA, even though I don't know what MRSA is. Like, I know it's like a skin kind of flesh eating. I don't even know what it is really. Yeah. I just started thinking all these, my mind just starts going wild. So she comes back. She's like. She asked me a couple more questions. She's like, okay, go have a seat in the waiting room. We'll call you when a doctor's ready to see you. So I go back out. And about 5 or 10 minutes later, I get called up to the desk, and they're like, look, it could be a while before a doctor can see you. What we're going to do is we're going to send you next door to the hospital. It's like right next door. Go up to the 8th floor. You're going to see this doctor, blah, blah, blah. So we go next door, and like within 10 minutes, the doctor sees me, and I pretty much say the same thing. Like, I'm here because I have this painful rash. It just seems to be spreading. And he like takes a look at it, and he asks me some questions. And he's like, well, I'm sorry to tell you it's shingles. So I'm like, oh, man. So he really wasn't all that helpful. I mean, I had to like really ask a ton of questions. But he gave me hydrocodone, which I had told him I had taken some hydrocodones with my husband's, and they didn't really help. But he gave me a higher dosage, which that seemed to help a little bit. And then he gave me an antiviral. Now, this is the thing that's important is you have to get on the antiviral within 72 hours of seeing that rash. Because if you don't, then you're pretty much screwed. Then it's just, it really helps to like shorten the duration of the pain, possibly the pain and the rash. So I'm thinking like if it wasn't for Rich saying, I think it's shingles, I wouldn't have gone to the doctor that fast. Like I would have probably waited. And here I'm thinking like when I got my antiviral, I'm thinking, did I really catch it within 72 hours? Like, was Tuesday the first day that we really saw? Was it that, and I'm like, or maybe, maybe it was I started the rash on Monday and we just didn't see it. Maybe it was Sunday, but anyway, whatever. So did the antiviral and the hydrocodone. The antiviral was like 7 days. The hydrocodone was just as you need it. And towards the very end, I really try not to take it at all, except The other thing is taking the hydrocodone in a car. I was just so nauseous and dizzy, so. Most of the trip from San Antonio, to LA, I did not take any medication while I was in the car, and I barely took any when I was, not in the car either, just because I was just trying not to take any. We were doing calamine lotion on the rash, and the rash started on my right shoulder blade, like towards by my spine, and then wrapped all the way around, just kind of like in little patches. I still have some scarring here and there. I'll probably put pictures at the end of that. It's really gotten a lot better. I don't know if you. I'll show you guys later on, but in the pictures. But it's gotten a lot better. The one underneath my arm, I think, still looks kind of pretty dark.
Discolored, yeah.
Pretty dark, but I really don't care.
Back's doing good. Chest is really good.
Yeah. The other thing, and grab that brush right there. It itches a lot. It's right on the side of the mirror right there, baby.
Oh.
It itches a lot. So when I went to go itch, I would scratch myself, and oh my gosh, I can't even tell you the first time I tried to scratch myself. Like once it really got like into a full blown rash. It was like I had like just scratched myself with a bunch of knives. The pain was so extreme. So the one thing that was a lifesaver was this guy right here with the bristles. I would just like sit there and just like, and there was no pain. It was like total relief. Oh, this is like my best friend. And then Rich got a bunch of other stuff for me while we were in Vegas. I think you got a bunch of things, right? Or
yeah, I think that things with topical anesthetic, even though that they did put out the calamine. But they something with a stronger topical anesthetic, like what was that one spray?
Bactine or something?
Yeah, Bactine.
Yeah, the Bactine. It didn't stop the pain for very long, but at least it was like some relief.
And then I also got an ointment generally for treating boils, but any topical ointment that has a strong amount of painkiller could possibly work. It's really painful, and the ointments and the sprays only give you
a little bit of relief.
Yeah,
at least it's something. At least it's something. Like even if it was like 5 minutes, like Rich was like
spraying her down.
Constantly.
Okay, another spray. Okay, no problem, another spray.
Yeah, and the other thing that really helped, and I had read this online. Actually, I thought it was the heat when we were in the car. I was leaning up against the the seat, and I thought it was the heat. But it was actually the pressure, because I read later on that if you apply pressure on the areas where you have pain, that it helps. So I would like sit up against a hard chair, or press a pillow against wherever area you have, and that really helped. But yeah, other than that, I had no blistering, no anything. It was just no pus or anything.
Yeah, no extreme lesions. But the skin, a little bit of dead skin, stuff like that, but just really minor.
Yeah, I was really lucky, and I think the thing, like I said, is like it was just
antiviral real soon.
Catching it really quickly. So it started on August 12th, and I think the first day that was almost like pain-free, because I remember telling Rich like a couple of days before, because like I said, we drove from like San Antonio to New Mexico. We stopped in Arizona, right? Was that Arizona that we stopped in? What was that one place? Yeah, it was Arizona.
Oh.
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Flagstaff, yeah.
And then Vegas, and then finally L.A. What was my whole point of saying that? Oh, just a couple of days before that, I was telling Rich, I'm like, I cannot wait until I wake up one day and I don't feel any pain. That day I will mark down on my calendar. And that day it was September 2nd. And it actually happened to be the day that we moved into this place. Like that day, I don't know if it was just because of the adrenaline, like, you know, just all excited about moving in, you know, whatever. But that was the first day I was like pain-free. Now I still have some tingling, like on my mostly on my shoulder blade. In the back, I'll feel like this kind of like really like weird tingling sensation, but like no, I don't, whatever, I can deal with that. There's just no pain. So that is it, I think, right? I think I covered it. So if anybody feels anything like that, any kind of pain, if the moment you start seeing like any little rash or like redness or a spot, get in to see a doctor, like your doctor, and if you can't see your doctor, go to the emergency room, because
learn to also recognize a dermatome.
I don't even know what a dermatome is, and I just had shingles, so just I'm saying, if you see a rash, get to somebody quickly.
It's not just any rash. It's
I know, but just I don't know, whatever. I'm saying, get on the antiviral. And the thing is, like, what your insurance? Well, they cover the antiviral. It's just they don't cover the shot.
Yeah, they don't cover the immunization for it. There's
a shot you can get to help prevent getting it, but you have to be, what is it, 60?
Depending on your insurance. Each insurance is different. Like my insurance or my previous insurance, you had to be 51 or over.
Yeah.
But possibly now that she's already had shingles, that might, you know, change the whole thing around. I don't know.
I don't know. There was something else I was going to say. And the shingles, in case you guys don't know, it's anybody who's had chickenpox can get it. It's pretty much chickenpox. Once you get chickenpox, it never goes away. It just lays like dormant in your body until it decides to awaken. And it usually occurs in people who, you know, are really sick, like have what do you call it?
Immunocompromised.
Yeah, their immune system compromised.
Stressed.
I think that's why there was like so much stress going on. Like I think that's pretty much the reason why I got it, because I wasn't sick at all. But yeah, it's either like if you're a lot of stress or your immune system is compromised, and that's basically it. So if anybody has any questions, put it below. I don't know if I'll have any answers, but
talk to your doctor and not us.
Right. And hopefully this helps somebody, you know. But that is it, and hopefully everybody's doing well. Bye.